What's happening, people? Today, I just wanted to quickly talk about the Rings of Power. Now, I have really tried to have an open mind about it, and I'm going to give you one very good example. About the best example I can think of, right? If you've read Game of Thrones, the books or books, I keep saying this because I'm from Stoke Country and we speak a bit differently over here, but the books anyway, like, I only actually read the first 3, but I said on a previous video, one of my friends just happened to say to me one day, have you seen the Game of Thrones show? I think you'd like it. Never heard of it or anything like. So anyway, I gave it a go. I was hooked immediately. Especially the first even the first episode. I thought, this is my type of thing. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I know a lot of people keep slagging off season 8, but really I thought it went downhill from season 6, to be honest. But up until then, I thought it was brilliant. And like I say, I read the first 3 books. Now, anyone who's read even just one book, or you've read them all, you know that they changed a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. And, you know, the show was still a massive hit. People still loved it. So, you know, you could say, you know, Lord of the Rings people, these scholars, experts, consider themselves more educated, more scholarly, or whatever. But there was an awful people that watched their movies that hadn't read the books, didn't even know nothing about it, and loved it. So, like I say, I'm trying to have an open mind and, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. Although I'm finding it harder and harder to not judge, especially when Amazon put their new covers on the original Lord of the Rings books. You know, that was a big, I don't know if it was a fingers up to the Tolkien saying, we've got control now, you know, Christopher's gone, or if it was just, you know, to put some more pennies in their pockets that they don't need. But yeah, the trailers, the
past is dead.
They're just not exciting, are they? It really is some, like, it looks like some cheap ass over the top fantasy. It really does. It is. I mean, the Peter Jackson one was pretty truthful. It wasn't. It wasn't a perfect adaptation. But let's face it. You know, he did a very good job, and you know, when you're watching that film right from the beginning, you're sort of taken into another reality, a fantasy that, you know, that is the point of these fantasy books and epics. And I mean, I know Tolkien wrote it as like a mythology of England, but it was also high fantasy, like, and in the Peter Jackson trilogy, you see Legolas pulling off some pretty amazing feats, really, don't you? And it had a better, well, yeah, conquering insurmountable odds and stuff like that. But I mean, you're watching this trailer and it's.
I am sorry, but the time has come.
It's just so generic. You know that I haven't heard of any of his interviews yet, like, but no doubt he'll be the first black elf to appear in a Tolkien thing, like, play that. I hope he doesn't, because that'll just put me off him straight away. But you see the scenes with him, like, and doing all these like computer game style flips and jumps, and yeah, it really. I've gone from like being a bit naive and thinking, oh, people are gonna love it no matter what, and haters are gonna hate it no matter what, and then there's gonna be some people that will change their mind and go both ways. But now I'm just thinking, really, it looks really bad. The pissed off many the really big fans about the law. I mean, to be honest, I would have just been happy with a really good show. Like, if you can imagine, say you got the Peter Jackson trilogy, and just like say chopped it down into 20 parts. Because we know we filmed a lot more than what we saw, like, but just imagine that's what we got though. You know, and how people making these like fan reaction videos of Game of Thrones and theories and what's going to happen and stuff, like, that would have been mint. Like, but yeah, he got the money, he did the trilogy. I think it's brilliant. Like, but this seems like a cheap ass generic show, and they're just borrowing little bits of elements, like, and I've explained before, I don't like fan service. If they go into what happened to the female ants, that'll drive me balmy. Oh well, I'll be shouting F words at the screen at that, at the TV screen at that. Oh well, and stuff, like, you know. And there's going to be a lot of explaining this and that and whatnot throughout it, because otherwise it's not going to make sense. Yeah. New final trailer. I believe it starts the day after my birthday. Yeah. So I will wake up that day either hungover and not wanting to subject myself to such nonsense, or maybe I will, and that'll bring on a hangover. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. I don't know what they're doing. I didn't consider myself a big fan. I read the books once. I actually really liked the animated, when I was a kid, the little animated show. I wish they finished it. I was actually quite annoyed that they didn't. And the Peter Jackson films were brilliant. And I actually brought the special edition ones of them. Well, my mum did as a Christmas present for me. Yeah, really good. And I said I had something to show you on my last video I made about the Rings of Power. I've since made a little short about it because I found it. So, 1 second. I don't know if you can quite make that out. Here is. You can read that at the bottom. Lord of the Rims. Let's take a big dump. Mr. Sauron here will clean it up. Should get JD Payne and the other pain in the ass to do it instead, shouldn't we? Really? That's what they do. Or they'll perhaps do a DB wise and DB not so wise and just disappear altogether. Anyway, thank you for listening, people. Love it if you'd subscribe, hit that like button, and ring that bell, and yeah, all make peace together. Oh yeah.